There is this one female friend I have on Facebook, um, just a Facebook friend. And for years, I have observed her status about Proverbs 31 woman. And I just used to be reluctant about it. But as time went on and recently, pretty much presently, I started to read this Proverbs 31. It begins with instruction to men, and then most of that chapter speaks directly to women. Though the first part speaks to men, but most of it speaks to women. You know, after I read it a couple more times. It's been a week and a half since I started reading it. It dawned on me that I haven't even been a fraction of the kind of helper slash woman I'm supposed to be. Period. It doesn't really have to be to a man, but considering that part as well, the kind of woman we supposed to be in a home, in the church, on the jobs, socially, period. That's how I look at it. I look at it from a you know, from a broader standpoint than just relationship. Yes. Because a really good woman, a Proverbs 31 woman, will be praised by everybody, not just her husband, not just her children. Okay? So, not to drag this on, the first verse, well, there are many verses in here that really got to my soul, that really had me really thinking about my personality, my character, my behavior, and all that stuff as a woman. Okay, the one I want to talk about here is Proverbs 31, verse 18. It says, "She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night." The two part of this verse that really drew me in was is her merchandise being good and her candle not going out by night. When I think merchandise, guys, I didn't study theology, but just studying the word and looking at it from my point of view, this is how I interpreted it. Her merchandise being good. Merchandise, in my opinion, refers to whatever mine or your personality as a woman brings to fruition from your character, your personality, your interaction with your children, your husband, and people in general. Whatever fruits you bear from your lips, from your mind, from your heart, that comes alive, comes to reality in your character and your personality. That's what I see as the merchandise. Is this merchandise, is it good? Is it kind? Is it gentle? Is it long suffering? Does it inspire your children, your husband, and people around you to remain positive and grow to become better in life, period, and what they do and what their goals and aspirations are? Because sometimes how we treat people can affect it can create certain detours in their life. How we treat people can really create certain detours in their life, in their intentions, in their goals and aspirations. If you know what I mean, or should we dig deeper? Just think about that for a second. Just for an example, you have a child that you don't love, you don't teach, you don't groom. And when it comes to teaching, just look at it from all aspects, spiritually, mentally. If you have a child that you don't even invest in at all, you can affect who that child becomes in life unless they discover God and seek God for themselves. Or also read books and do research and study to improve their own life. You know what I'm saying? So as I was thinking about this merchandise and thinking about as a woman being with your man, I started thinking, I said, sometimes our behavior towards our boyfriend, fiance, husband will determine if this man will rise to greatness, if this man will fear us, if this man will not trust us, if this man will not be secured enough to pop the question, and many more things can be affected. Is your merchandise good? I'm going to move on to the candle part. There's so much more to say in here, but I don't want the video to be too long. But comment whatever you think and feel about this particular verse, Proverbs 31, verse 18. And then it says, her candle goeth not out by night, quote unquote, by night. When you think of the word night, you think when problems come, when offenses come, when difficulties come, when challenges comes, when things that hinders everything in life comes. Do you lose your light? Do you lose your light? When you are going through situations and issues that are very complicated and very stressful and frustrating with your children, with your husband, or on the job, in life, period. Do you allow anger to bring to fruition all kinds of ignorance and negativity upon your lips, upon your mind, that will just make situation worse? What do we do? What do you do when you're going through some problems with your children, or especially your husband, your significant other, boyfriend, or whatsoever? What is your reaction like? What happens to your communication? What happens to your self-control? Does that candle go out? Do you just lose yourself and make situation worse? Guys, now I see why this girl always used to be like, Proverbs 31 woman, Proverbs 31 woman. And this is not just to the women. Proverbs 31, the beginning part, also speaks to the man. So as a man, if you want to be a full kingdom product according to God's image, read Proverbs 31 too. Don't just read it to know it, but let it sink in. Because our understanding got to go heart deep. When your understanding is not just intellectual, when it's really inside, when it comes from a heartfelt place, it can really turn things around for you. Thanks for watching. Whatever you think of you, drop it in the comment.